G'day geeks, my name is Chris and I hope you had a delightful Christmas. I'm still in a festive mood, so I'm wearing my lovely Star Wars Christmas shirt. In this video I'm going to show you some of the presents that I've received from friends and family. He-Man socks and cups, a couple of different cool card games, and a lovely print about from one of my D&D crew that showcases our characters that we play in our fortnightly games, which is pretty awesome. But most of the objects in this video, most of the wonderful items, are stuff that I've brought myself, so it's presents to myself from myself. But we're going to unbox them all today and have a look at some festive presents to me from me. But anyway, there's always a good excuse to open up presents. Let's go. I set myself a couple of rules for the Christmas unboxing to myself, so I was trying to recreate the Christmas of my childhood. So I tried to get a few action figures, obviously, because I always got action figures as a kid growing up for Christmas and birthdays, a play set, a vehicle, and something to read. So more than a couple of rules, I guess, but yes, so figures, play sets, a vehicle, and something to read. So I have ticked all of those boxes over the last couple of months, and we'll unbox all of them today. So here we have the McFarlane Toys 3-pack. So this is the Justice Society of America, which is the 40s 50s group, a precursor to the Justice League of America. And we've got Green Lantern, Hourman, and Starman. It's a bit odd that the names don't match where they are. So Green Lantern, that's Green Lantern. Hourman, who's the one in the middle, and Starman right there. So these are all the original versions of the characters from the 40s, and they're still around in some form, in some iteration today. They've had different identities and whatnot over the decades, but yes, Green Lantern, Hourman, and Starman. And we flip it over and we get a bit of a classic bio like McFarlane Toys does with all of their superpowers figures. So the superpowers figures are retro inspired line of action figures, harkening back to the Kenner superpowers line of action figures from the 80s, which are much beloved by myself and other collectors. So yes, here we have Green Lantern, Hourman, and Starman. They've got the right alignment on the back of the card, and so this is pretty awesome. I like the Justice Society of America, so I'm looking forward to opening these up. So let's open up these 3 Justice Society members right now. These look great, very old-timey. I love these JSA members. So we've got Rex Tyler, Hourman, Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern, and Ted Knight, I believe, who's the first Starman, and he's the only one that comes with an accessory, which is the gravity rod, which gives him his abilities of flight and so on. He's got a pouch there for a gun, I guess, but that's not removable. They've all got fabric capes, which is awesome, and they've got this star on the back. These are very much like the Kenner Superpowers capes with a little pinch around the neck. So yes, love all the colours. So there's Starman, Hourman, Rex Tyler. I love his cape again. It's got a detail on the back of it. It's got a little hourglass because he has a Miraclo pill, which gives him super strength and superpowers for an hour. So he was a chemist who developed this pill, which gave him temporary superpowers. And lastly, we have Alan Scott, the first Green Lantern, and he's got an awesome cape as well, which is green and purple, so two-sided cape. He's got his ring, his power ring on his his left hand, and he's got the lovely chunky belt and the mask, all that kind of stuff. And this little touch on the cape keeps it in place. So yes, those are 3 of the original members of the JSA, and obviously they fit in quite nicely with the rest of the Superpowers retro line from McFarlane Toys. So very happy I got this 3-pack. I hope they release more of these. I got these on the cheap, I think, from Amazon. Might have even been during Prime Day, perhaps. So yes, very happy. 3 members of the JSA to add to my superpowers shelf. This is the Enterprise from the original Star Trek, the original series from Playmates, and their Star Trek Universe line, which unfortunately was a short-lived line, but they did produce a few action figures, which I've covered in a previous video, and they're pretty cool actually, and the packaging is just amazing and awesome, and I love the colours and all that kind of stuff. Nacelle have taken over the Star Trek license, and they'll be producing action figures over the next few years, hopefully. But yes, this I also picked up from Toymate on the cheap, and it is the Star Trek Enterprise, as I said, the original one. So let's push these buttons to see what I can do. So I'm sure it makes noises and such. Oh no, it's not working. Come on, you can do it. Okay, it's like the comm call or warning or whatever. Ooh, that actually sounds like Shatner's voice. That's pretty cool. Okay, I love that. So I'm going to open up this awesome Star Trek vehicle. It's too small for any of these figures, obviously, to fit inside, but it's certainly a cool display piece. And it says up here that it's got the activation buttons to imitate the sounds from the classic TV show. The inner cells light up, and it's even got a display stand, and the bridge lights up, and all manner of things. So I'll probably have to throw some batteries in this, but let's open up the original Star Trek USS Enterprise.
Man battle stations. Photon torpedoes, fire. Prepare for warp maneuvers. Security alert to all decks. Arm photon torpedoes.
Something I noticed is only the left nacelle seems to light up. I've given it new batteries and jiggled a bit with it, but yeah, it looks like it's only the only the right nacelle that seems to light up. The other one doesn't. It has an auto shut off feature though, which is good. So even on the off switch, it turns itself off after a few seconds. But yes, only one of the nacelles seems to light up, but that's okay. Sticking with Star Trek, I also got this from, I think I got this from Big W, maybe Kmart. This is a bit of a nod to the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, where they'd come in different dress-ups, basically. So on the back there we have, Cowboy Leo, Astronaut Raph, Beach Bum Mikey, and this one, Donatello as Spock from Star Trek. Kind of promoting a stereotype there, I guess, with Donatello being the tech wizard would be a nerd, and therefore he'd dress up as Spock. I don't know, but this is pretty cool. So let's open up Donnie as Spock and see what he's all about. This is a fun collab indeed, and I like the little bio that they've given him. And obviously this is based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie that came out, what was that, 2-3 years ago? And there's not all, but some of the carriages you can get from the film. So it's actually quite a fun film, actually. I was surprised how funny it was. I quite enjoyed it. And here we have Donatello as Spock, and he's in the traditional, the original series, the original 1960 series. He's even got the black wig, the pointy ears. He's only got one gripping hand, so he can either hold his Star Trek phaser or the bow staff, because the other hand, as you can see, he's got the live long and prosper hand signal there, and he's got the black bandolier with the little quarter, whatever that's called, the not camcorder, tricorder, is that what it's called in Star Trek? And his bow staff as well, which he always uses as Donatello, and I'm guessing that can probably fit in there potentially, maybe. No, maybe not. But yes, pretty simple articulation and what we've come to expect from these kind of figures. But yes, pretty cool, fun collab, and I just like the fact that Ninja Turtles are so prevalent even after 40 years in today's pop culture. So I was pretty happy to find this on the shelf. So here's Donatello as Spock from Star Trek. There's not a ton of Seinfeld merchandise out there, really, at least compared to toys, the stationery and shirts and whatnot, but when it comes to collectibles, not a heck of a lot. So these are the Funko mini moments, and they're basically just, as you can see, almost like little Fisher price little people versions of the Seinfeld characters, and if you get all of the pieces you can combine them together to form Jerry's apartment, which is pretty cool. They're pretty cute and they've got all the individual characters there. So this was like very cheap, less than $10 I think, during Amazon Prime Day. So I just thought I'd just grab one, and probably won't grab any more unless they're really cheap. But yeah, this is pretty cool. So one of my favourite 90s TV shows. I was always more of a Seinfeld rather than a Friends guy. And then when Arrested Development came on in the 2000s, 2010s, no 2000s, right? That was definitely one of my favourite shows to eclipse Seinfeld with its absurdity. But yeah, Seinfeld is very 90s, very clever humour and very quotable. So let's crack open the Funko Mini Moments Seinfeld Jerry's Apartment. Pretty cute. There's not a heck of a lot to it, but it's worth a few dollars that I paid for it anyway. Obviously we have the non-articulated little Jerry Seinfeld with his classic blue shirt and his long 90s haircut, and this is a reproduction in obviously much more smaller scale of Jerry's apartment with the radiator and the windows and the very 90s computer, the trash can, the desk, all that kind of stuff, paintings on the wall, and you can see that's pretty plain on the back, but you can also see where it kind of clips in with the other sets. So yeah, as I said, there's not a heck of a lot of Seinfeld collectibles out there really, so quite happy to grab this on the cheap. Yeah, I don't know which shelf it kind of will go in. Maybe the 80s kind of 90s cartoony kind of shelf. So I don't really have a sitcom shelf in my toy room, but nonetheless this is a pretty cool nod to a classic 90s TV show. So very happy to add Jerry's apartment somewhere in the toy room. These are a couple of figures from the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe CGI animated series that was on Netflix, and you can tell that they have a very chunky and kind of kiddie aesthetic, and basically just got these. I think these were like $6 or $7 from Toymate, and I thought that's a cool kind of He-Man design. Not really what I would get, but it's awesome that Mattel and Netflix are still able to pump out some He-Man entertainment for the kids, so the new generation and the next generation can love He-Man as much as us old people do. But I grabbed this because it's got a cute little cringer there. He-Man's pet cat that turns into Battle Cat. You don't see many figures of him, and my favourite bad guy, even I love him even more than Skeletor, is Hordak, and I got him because he's the leader of the Horde, and he's got a cool glitter kind of bat there. So yes, here we have Hordak and He-Man. Chunky aesthetic, chunky style. It's not for everybody. These are the first and probably only figures I'll ever buy from this series, but let's open them up. These are actually pretty cool. They're very chunky, but very kid-friendly to kid-friendly hands, and they'll certainly, looks like they'll take a bit of battering. So yes, very chunky, and they've got the traditional kind of loincloth, limited articulation, but just enough. So yeah, I like it. These are actually pretty cool. So this is He-Man here, and obviously a bit more of a different outfit than we have seen him with, and he comes with the chunky redesign of the power sword, which has a plug there, but also it's got a handle, so you can whack it in his huge hands like that, or he can whack it on his back because there's a hole in the back, and he can just put it in the back there. Nice. So yes, pretty chunky, and obviously he comes with little Cringer who turns into Battle Cat. That's a pretty cute. No articulation on him. The tail is a bit flicky, but yes, very cute kind of aesthetic there. Looks very happy. Bit more alien kind of design, I guess, than what we're used to seeing. And here we have Hordak, and he's again not as chunky, but different aesthetic, different design, and he's got these kind of fabric cloth skirt kind of dress piece that kind of moves out of the way, which is good. He doesn't have any articulation, no knee or elbow articulation, so very simple, but just the white skin, the blue, the red bat, all that kind of stuff. And he comes with an accessory as well, which is this wonderfully transparent, glittery, see-through bat, and again that's got a little plug, so we can either go on the hole on Hordak's back, like so, or he can actually hold it in his hand like so. I guess he could use it as a shield or something. So yeah, not bad. So there's Hordak and He-Man from the CGI animated series, which I haven't seen any of. No, actually that's not true. I think I saw the first episode and that's about it. But yes, pretty cool indeed. Some chunky He-Man figures there. Well, one of them is chunky. Hordak, pretty skinny, but both are very cool. Something to read. This is the Dungeons and Dragons Pocket Expert little guide book that I saw pop up on Amazon a couple of months ago. I thought I'd grab it again because it was cheap. And this is made by Dorling Kindersley, who those of you who grew up in the 90s and 2000s will probably be familiar with them doing Ultimate Guide to Superman, Ultimate Guide to X-Men, those kind of visual guidebooks. And so this is basically what the title would imply. So it's a Dungeons & Dragons Pocket Expert, looking at all the different locations, magic, characters, and the way it's designed is pretty cool. So there we go, some kind of costumes and typical armor of what the different adventure classes would wear, filled with wonderful artwork inside. I think there's a map here as well of Faerun. And yeah, so I don't know a lot about the actual lore and particular characters of the D&D world. Obviously it's quite big and expansive, and it covers, comics and video games and books and all that kind of stuff, and it's been around for 50 years. So I'm looking forward to kind of reading up on this and seeing how I can improve my Dungeons and Dragons game. So yes, I love everything's kind of color coded and it explains it pretty well. So yes, if you are into Dungeons and Dragons or know someone who is, this D&D Pocket Expert is a good place to start. These are all my 2024 Christmas presents to myself. So we've got the USS Enterprise from the Star Trek original series. We've got the Funko Mini Moments, the Seinfeld one, Dungeons and Dragons Pocket Expert, Donatello Spock, 3 members of the Justice Society of Australia, and Hordak and He-Man from the CGI Netflix He-Man and the Masters of the Universe animated series. So a vehicle, a play set of sorts, and a couple of figures and something to read. So yeah, pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy with this, and I think everything I bought here I bought on the cheap, so not full retail price. But yeah, this was fun. I might carry this on 2025 and beyond as well, just unboxing Christmas presents to myself from myself, just stuff I put away throughout the year. So thank you for watching to the end. Comment below if you picked up any of these things, or if you buy yourself some cool stuff during the Christmas season as well. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, geeks.